From the frustrated residents. KTLA's Annie Rose Ramos live in Studio City with the story you will see only on 5. Annie Rose, good morning.
Frank, good morning to you. I'm standing right next to this abandoned property. That fire breaking out yesterday right in the middle of the night. You can see the singed side of this building, presumably a pool house here at the back of the property. But residents tell us this lot has been fraught with issues for years, turning into a homeless encampment. You might be able to make out a mattress in the background there. They say they've tried everything. They've called the city. They've called their councilwoman. Nothing has changed. Out of desperation, they are now calling the media, calling KTLA, because they say they have no one else to turn to.
Fire 4343 Babcock Avenue.
This is some video from early yesterday morning when what appears to be a pool house in the abandoned lot off Babcock Avenue here in Studio City went up in flames. Those flames quickly spreading to all of the debris and overgrown brush that littered this abandoned lot. But the threat that this fire could have spread to other homes in this neighborhood has residents here saying enough is enough. Want to bring in Chris Kallmeyer. You live right around the corner with your wife, with your family, and you are beyond frustrated. What is going on here with this property? What can you tell us?
Well, it's been over 3 years at this point that we've had this persistent issue here. And, you know, I have young kids. I live just 3 doors down. Both of the properties that are next to this property have young kids. We all go to the same elementary school. And it's a scary thing walking by it almost every day and not knowing what's going to happen, not knowing what's going to happen overnight.
For folks who don't live in this area, what can you tell us about before the fire, what was going on here? A homelessness encampment. We can see Sky 5 up ahead, above us, who was here a little bit earlier ago. You can see glasses, wine glasses, mattresses. What's going on here for folks who don't know this area?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's been, there have been multiple reports that we have had the police, we've had the fire department out of assault, of instances of theft, of instances of now arson. The house 2 doors down actually has had to install barbed wire on their fence because they persistently had people from this encampment jumping into their backyard.
Wow.
And they have 2 kids who are, I think, under the age of 6. So, I mean, just living with that is something that it's
so
really
scary. You know, folks are going to say, why haven't you called the city? Why haven't you alerted authorities about this? What would you say to that?
So we've been working through that mechanism for the better part of 3 years at this point. The city has the ability, the authority to deal with a private property that has not been kept and that is now causing a public nuisance. We have everything on record that would allow them to take that, and we've been working through those channels and have not been able to get there.
On that note, Chris, thank you so much for your words. We're going to head it back to, or toss it back to Frank and Jess, because we know you have the mayor on the line there.
Right. Annie Rose, thank you very much for your reporting on this. Joining us on the phone, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass. Mayor Bass, thanks for calling in and responding to our invitation. We've also invited the city council person for this district, Nithya Raman. She has not responded yet. But Mayor Bass, how does this happen? We heard this resident say 3 years of interaction with the city, trying to do something about this. Another person told us earlier, 5 to 6 years.
That's right. That's correct. Actually, let me just say that this is why I watch your show in the morning, okay? So I saw the story.
All right.
We lost the mayor's audio.
The mayor.
Okay.
No, she's back. Mayor Bass, we lost you for a second.
No, hold
Please
on.
continue.
Let me merge her right now.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
This is the difficulty with this sort of process sometimes.
Mayor Bass, you there?
On.
Mayor Bass?
Yes, I'm
we
so sorry.
lost you.
The call dropped.
If you could start again.
Yes. First of all, I said that this is why I watch your show. I saw the story and immediately called our city departments to find out what was going on here. And actually, we have records that go back as far as 2021. You know, this is a situation that unfortunately exists all over the city, but this one is particularly egregious because it's next door to homes. So I spoke to the head of building and safety. He's going to look into it today. And what I specifically asked him to do is go out and clear that property out. And obviously we will bill the owner. So I do not, well, first of all, I know for sure this was never brought to my attention. It's going to take me a couple of hours to trace it in my office to find out if we were alerted to it. But this is something that should have absolutely never happened. And I will go out, if need be, and personally speak to the owner of the property now that I know where the location is.
I want to get back to Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, who is back on the phone with us again this morning. And let me, Mayor Bass, if I can just remind people of why you called in for us this morning. There is a property on Babcock Avenue in Studio City. This is what it looks like. It has looked like this for, according to city records, as you told us, there have been issues since going back to 2021 that you've been able to determine. The local residents there have been trying through their local council person, Nithya Raman, to get some action here and to get the building and safety to clear this property, to make it safe. There has been a fire. It continues to be a danger to the neighborhood, and they are frustrated that nothing has been done.
Mayor Bass, before we were disconnected, we were asking you, again, as we mentioned, this is Nithya Raman's district. She is running against you for mayor, as we know. If you could tell us, what is the responsibility of a city council member when something like this is happening in their district, residents continually call, and nothing gets done? What is the responsibility of the city council member?
Well, the responsibility of the city council member is to contact the departments, and if that fails, they could do a motion on the floor calling for the debris to be removed and identifying the money that could be used. But the other thing that council members can do is contact the mayor's office. If they contact the mayor's office and they don't get a response, every single member of the council has my cell phone. I talk to council members all the time. We have these situations around the city, and I have addressed them one-on-one with council members. It's a regular thing that happens. Many times, because I do watch the news, I'll find out about a situation, and I'll call the city council person, and I'll say, what has been done, and then I will move to help them do it personally. I do this all the time.
And Mayor Bass, you mentioned it yourself. This is happening around the city. There are
all over.
You're right, all over the city. Why? Why can't the city immediately take action on these situations? Why does it take the mayor of the city to personally get involved in a situation like this? Shouldn't I, as a member, as a citizen of this city, be able to go to building and safety or to my council person and say, hey, something is not quite right here. This is a danger to my community. Please do something about it, and expect action in less than 6 years.
I absolutely agree with that. And I just have to tell you that years before I ever thought of running for office, when I was running a community organization in South LA, we used to have to deal with these problems. I'm going back to the 90s with liquor stores and vacant lots all the time. What I found then, and coming into this office, and it continues to exist, there is a reluctance within the city to take action because the city is worried about being sued. To me, this is insane, and it should have been acted on immediately. I have been addressing vacant lots since I've been there quite a bit, and pushing the envelope with the city attorney's office or with the departments to go ahead and act. Unfortunately, if the council person doesn't contact me or my office, then sometimes I do find out about it by watching the news.
And Mayor, just to speak to the frustration of not just these residents here in Studio City, but like you said, people all across the city. And the woman who lives next door has children feet away from where that fire broke out last night. There are weapons, there are drugs. I think so many Angelenos are going, we do our best, we go to work, we follow the law, we take care of our homes, we try to make them as nice as we can, we send our kids to school, we're doing our best. And then you see these laws being broken by people all over the place, and nothing seems to happen. And there's a frustration where people go, well, why do we have to deal with this? Why doesn't anyone take responsibility?
Well, exactly right. And let me just say that I do take responsibility, which is why when I learn about these things, I act immediately. And this is a situation that has existed for a long time. And frankly, I think our nuisance abatement laws need to be much, much quicker. We need to act quicker. And that's something that, we absolutely need to do. There's no question about it. Now, the other issue, of course, is money. Because when the city goes in and does this, the city is going to have to spend the money doing it. So you can imagine if this is happening all over the city, the challenge, the financial challenge of addressing it every time. Now, we will put a lien on the property. We will bill the owner. I believe that the woman next door said that the owner is out of the country. I think I heard that. And it might be years before the city gets reimbursed. So understand that that is a factor as well. Now, in my opinion, we need to be able to judge which of these properties are an eyesore and which of these properties are a danger. And obviously, we need to address the danger swiftly. It is unacceptable that this has been around for 5 years.
And it wouldn't be as costly if we nipped it in the bud sooner as well.
Exactly,
right.
Because these grow.
Yeah.
That's also why when we see it connected to homelessness, we clear those properties and do our best to get these people housed, but definitely clear out the property. So even if not clearing the property, the homeless situation definitely should have been dealt with.
Well, let me ask you about the homeless situation. There is an ordinance that was just passed in the City Council 10-3 that had some people scratching their heads in the city. It's the anti-camping zones. Hugo Soto Martinez asked his fellow council members to take away a tool from the city of Los Angeles to enforce anti-camping zones on sidewalks in a number of places in Hollywood and Silver Lake. It is not citywide yet, but at least in those areas, the city is no longer able to go in and tell people, no, you can't camp on this sidewalk. This ordinance will come before you shortly for signature.
No.
It will not.
No, it actually doesn't. No. That's one thing that's also frustrating about our city is that there are divided powers. So this will not come before me. What I can tell you, though, about this specific council member is that I have worked very closely with him over the years. For example, there were a number of encampments on Hollywood Boulevard and on Sunset Boulevard, and we've kept those areas clear for well over a year working together. And so what I certainly hope is the situation is that now that 4118 is removed, that he will continue what he's been doing over the last few years, which is being extremely aggressive and working closely with the mayor's office to keep the area clear.
But is it a good idea to take that? Is it a good idea to remove that tool as a final resort? Do you support this idea?
Well, let me just tell you that I think that 4118 is a toolbox, and some council members have used it a lot of times, and I believe 4118 was put there by the previous council member. At the end of the day, it amounts to a fine because technically there is nobody. The LAPD, for example, is not going around to 4118 areas looking to see if they're cleared because it's just too massive within our city. I know Councilwoman Park, for example, uses 4118. So if he didn't feel he needed it, the goal is to keep those areas clear, period.
All right, Mayor Bass.
With or without 14.
Okay, Mayor Bass, we appreciate you calling in this morning. We thank you for your time. Again, we reached out to Councilmember Nithya Raman's office. We have yet to hear back from her, but we hope we do, and we hope those residents get some answers, as for residents all across Los Angeles dealing with the same thing.
All right, it is 8:24 in Los Angeles. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.